Hey everybody, it's Chris, and today's video is all just flight footage. Real quick, simple video, very short, just showing you the flight footage of the EXO Blackhawk 2 with all automatic settings and then manual settings using ND filters. There's probably not a lot of people out there with using ND filters on these because there's just not a lot of people. There's hardly anybody making ND filters for these, and I'll get into a little bit more of that. This is not the video, and I apologize for this echo, guys. I'm redoing this room, and this whole side of the room is all empty, so it's a little more echoey than normal. But this flight, what it's going to be is the first flight that you're going to see is all just automatic camera settings. Let the quad do all the work there. And typically I find this is how a lot of people fly. When you put out a video like this, you find that a lot of people don't do any manual settings. So we're going to let the quad do its thing. And then what you're going to find is when you watch your videos like this in automatic camera settings, you're going to find that your white balance fluctuates sometimes when you don't want it to. You'll get some noise because your ISO, will be up higher than you want it. Your shutter, generally you're going to go with the rule of you have, in this case, 4K, 30 frames per second. So you double that and it's 60. So you'd be 1/60 on your shutter. In this case, it was like 1/2000. So it doesn't necessarily mean your video is going to look bad. It actually looked pretty good. It's just that's where you'll find your issues of noise and so forth. But that's the first video you're going to see, and again, very short, quick clips. And then the second one is going to be with me doing manual camera settings, and I'll put all those up on the screen when we get to that part of the video. And I'll be using a ND 32 filter. So that leads me to what filters I found. There's nothing really out there. I reached out to Freewell, and I already knew the answer. I asked them, do you have any plans on making filters for the the EXO or the Hubsan version of this, the Ace or the Blackhawk 2 Pro. And then that would also fall in for the Xeno Mini Pro and the EXO Mini Pro, because the camera's the same size. This filter fits both. But their answer was a quick absolutely not. So I pretty much already knew that. You're playing with the big boys when people want to make ND filters for your quads. But in this case, you didn't make it very easy. This is something that blows me away. You make a quad that's going to be, or a drone that's going to be made for good footage. People are going to want to use ND filters, and then you design it so it is just not ND friendly. This one's a hard one to pop an ND filter on. I mean, they could make one that slides over it, but they'd have to be real careful because the way it's tapered, that would be something that would be subject to fall off. So what did we end up getting? We ended up getting this by JSR. They call themselves Junestar. These are ND filters, your basic ND set, but they're the good old stick-ons. Adhesive ND filters, just like the Xeno Pro, Xeno Pro Plus, that reusable gel-like sticky pad. And what you do is you just simply, if I can get my fingers in there, you simply stick it on, and you can take it off many times, and then when it loses its stickiness, you just take that gel pad and moisten it with some water, and supposedly it will regain its stickability. So that's what we have. These are very low budget. These are not going to be your high-end ND filters. They may be just enough to do the job, and you can be the judge of that in my video footage using the ND 32. So I'll put a link to these down in the description. And again, they fit the Mini as well as the Blackhawk 2 Pro. So that's what you're going to see in the second footage is the ND filter in manual settings. Now, the difference between the two flights, I actually did the ND flight first, doing manual settings, and I had a lot more sun. And then when I got out without filters, which actually worked out better for the camera, there was less sun because we had thicker cloud coverage with a storm coming in, a little bit of a storm coming in. So you're going to see some areas where it's definitely more cloud coverage than the other footage, but you'll also see some that are exact situation. So I matched the flights up as best as I could. They're running the exact same path pretty much. So you'll see one video and then the second portion of the video showing ND filters. I'm not putting them side by side or over top of each other because then you crop down the video frame and you lose a lot. So I'm not going to do a comparison that way. And maybe at the end, I'll just edit it to where you have the two clips, do a quick short. That's what I'll do. I'll do a quick short at the very end with one on top of the other so you can see side by side. But a majority of the two flights are going to be individual. And again, this is very quick. It's a very short video. What are my little negatives or anything that I'm not fully crazy about with this quad or an issue I might be having? Well, I've already mentioned it's just not ND friendly. It's not ND filter friendly on the lens, but there's absolutely nothing you can do about that. The other thing is this may just be my unit only. I don't know. This might be something that other people notice with theirs as well. It might be a widespread issue. But in the upper left-hand corner of my video, you'll see it's a little magenta color. It's just in that upper left-hand corner. I didn't really study all the video footage, but you'll see some jello, you'll probably see some noise, but that red magenta up in that corner, that is something that I would definitely be calling EXO. If I purchase this, I'd be calling EXO saying, hey, this is no good. I don't want that. And possibly returning it for them to swap me out a new one or whatever. I don't think this is a firmware issue. It might be something just with my camera. So again, magenta up in that upper corner. And then the other thing would be, this thing is so loud. And it's funny because this is reminiscent of the DJI, the original DJI Mavic Air. And it might even be louder than that quad. If you know anything about the DJI Mavic Air, it was loud. And that was the one thing pretty much everybody agreed on with that quad. This baby's loud too. It might be louder than that. There is no flying around your park trying to go unnoticed with this baby. People are going to know you're there. And that's why I was also hoping to do a camera on ground portion of the video so you could hear that. But we'll do that. We'll do that again in another upcoming video. So there is the ND filter. There's the red magenta color in my video. There's the loud noise. And then we have, or the decibel level of the props. And then we have the good old horizon tilt. It's not terrible, and I usually, now it's just kind of, it's become something that we have to expect and are, I guess, expected just to deal with it when it comes to quads, because it's DJI, it's Autel, it's Hubsan, it's EXO, and it's the inventor of horizon tilt, Fimi. It's pretty present in a majority of your quads today, but when it's very minor, I can live with it. It's usually something I can just tilt my video in post. You lose a little bit of the edges doing that, but it's not a problem. Or like this guy here, you hit one button on the app and then you have a plus minus to change that gimbal tilt and level out your horizon. Very quick and easy. I tend to not do that because then around the next turn, it's going to be off probably even more. So if I'm trying to really get a shot, get in on that shot, and I see my horizon's a mess, that's when I'm going to definitely do it. If it's footage I really want to use for something good, that's when I'm going to fix that horizon. But for this, I left it alone because I wanted to show everybody. And like I said, just flying around leisurely, I'm not going to mess with it either. So there's that, and that's pretty much it. The only other thing I have is a little tip. If you are a Mac user like me, you are going to not want to format your SD card on this quad. This is that good old Hubsan FAT32 that they love to use. They're not using exFAT as their format. It's FAT32 like it's always been from way back. That's going to be something you'll plug into your Mac, and it's going to be unrecognizable. So I formatted my card on the Mac, exFAT, put it in the quad. Everything works perfectly fine. It recognizes the SD card. It saves my videos, pictures, whatever, and it works perfectly fine. So that is something I really wish, EXO, if you have any influence on Hubsan whatsoever, and you really can get them to make changes, change the video or the formatting format to the exFAT, not FAT32. It's such a small little gripe, but it's so frustrating when you make the mistake of formatting it on the quad like I did, and then popping that baby in the computer and it's not recognizable. Then I got to go to my laptop, which is much slower, and it's a pain in the butt. So I worked around it. I put the files on I just swapped them into a SD card that was exFAT, and then popped it into my Mac and edited the video. So that's pretty much it. I really don't have anything else. I'm overall happy with this quad. My biggest gripe would be that magenta color, that red. That's a kind of a deal breaker for me if I were to have purchased this. And hopefully, I'm not reaching out to EXO. I'm letting them, I'm trying to see if they're at least watching my videos and if they're concerned. That's something that you should be concerned about there at EXO, and if other people are having this problem, you would probably know it. So if you watch the video, EXO, you can reach out to me and let me know if that's a hardware issue or something you think you can fix with firmware. I think it's a hardware issue, though. In that case, I'm not going to do anything about it. I didn't pay for it. It was sent to me, and we'll just leave that alone. But yeah, I'm very happy with its flight performance. It handled great in the wind. It had a storm coming in, like I said, and it got pretty windy, and this thing just battled on like it was nothing. Got caught in a little bit of rain. I don't think you can see it, but there's little raindrops all over it. You can see from maybe where it had a little bit of dust on top of it, and then the raindrops left their marks. But had to grab the camera, tripod, and the drone and controller and get everything in the house real quick and avoid that rain. But yeah, it handled the wind very well. I'm happy with both flight footage that you're going to see with and without. I'm happy with it. We'll just say it's good quality. It's not up there. It's not epic quality. It's good quality. And then as far as my manual settings go, it's the best I can do. I'm not one that wants to sit there and really play with it. I get all my numbers in, and I'm happy with what I see. I launch and take off. I'm not going to fine tune and really tweak it and sit there and eat up my battery. Some guys can just go boop, 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 and they're all done and ready to go. I just do all my settings, and I might adjust the white balance a little bit, exposure, and I'm out. So that's what you're going to get in my flight footage. I think it's decent. And if there's anything you don't like about color in my flight footage, that's all on me. But on the automatic version, that's all on the quad. But I think they got the color science fairly well. The blue is fairly accurate. The green is accurate. It's pretty dead on. So that's it. I'm just going to lead you straight into the flight footage. I'm not going to come back on here and talk to you anymore. I've ran my mouth enough. But lead you straight on into the flight footage and just say thanks for watching and hit that thumbs up on your way over to watch the video. And as always, new subscribers, click that button. You're not subscribed, click that button and then hit that bell for future content notification, and I would greatly appreciate it. More to come on this one, and I still have the many to do yet as well. And that's pretty much it. So enjoy the flight. Peace and love.